Welcome back on Sansad TV. We were listening to K.V. Subramanian, former Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India and Present Director IMF. And he said that he termed the budget as judicious, non-populist and visionary. Judicious, why there is a, they have controlled the fiscal deficit and they have not declared any that type of a scheme, so it is non-populist and it is visionary. We will focus on that visionary term, and we have seen that the government has announced a 1 lakh crore budget for innovation and research. As K.V. Subramaniam was detailing that we have to be in the top 10 economies which are based on research and innovation. That's why it is very important. Yamini ji, how do you see this? That 1 lakh crore budget, that for 50 long years term, and that too without any interest, how it is going to benefit the development?
Well, I think it's a very good step, primarily because research is the key towards higher productivity and technological innovations that we need presently to grow at. If you look at India's science and technology, whether it was vaccination, which took us out of COVID and put the economy back at its strength of working and ensuring livelihoods, or you talk about Chandrayaan, or you talk about using drones in agriculture, or you talk about putting manufacturing sector or the other sectors or the services sector in terms of exports as well as dealing with the climate change issues, I think research will play a key role. Also, we do understand that one of the brightest minds work at the top institutions across the world at top positions. And why can't these people be given, or the people in India who are one of the brightest people working at the best of the institutions in India, whether it's DRDO or the others, be provided an opportunity with the research grants through prominent institutions to work for a better, innovative, productive tomorrow, which will lead to a higher human capital value and a greater economic growth for India.
And two more aspects, if I can relate it to this, like at present we are not technologically independent. We have to be dependent on somebody else, and we are paying highly for those all technologies as well.
Well, I think we need to relook at the aspects, like say, for example, when we talk about solar energy itself. An Atmanirbhar Abhiyan is already there for making everybody self-sufficient to produce their own electricity. So if we can actually use the solar energy or the renewable energy sources or the other sources to become more self-reliant, also look at our own traditional sources, whether it was architecture of the buildings or the different aspects which still belong to a strong technological arena. I think we may find values and other things that can push growth. Also, collaborations with the different countries in terms of the way we have been portraying our foreign policy and placing India at a neutral stance of utilizing technology for the common good, especially if you look at vaccination, where we have been the brand ambassadors of livelihoods. I think that has a key role to play in overall not only India's development but for the world development.
Gopal Krishna ji, we have seen that they are in a way planning 360-degree approach towards development. One side, what they are aiming at fiscal deficit is 5.1 in next fiscal. They have kept the capex at 3.4% of GDP, and these all are going to focus on the developmental process, that too basically on the infrastructure development. They are creating ports and roads and railway corridors and everything. For the common viewers, I would like to understand from you how this is going to generate employment, because that is the question being posed to the government all the time.
See, as I was mentioning, the entire infrastructure sector, capital formation, capital investment in this sector has seen a huge jump. It's now, in next year, it has been projected to be about 11.1 lakh crores. why are we doing so much investment in infrastructure? At the back of it, this is to support industrialization. And you know, for the last 4 years, there is a huge turn, I would say, in our manufacturing policy. We are from a import-led economy, we are now slowly turning into a export-led economy. That's very critical. And you know, 20 years, 25 years back, we had this policy of freight equalization. It was very essential then, because we had to have balanced growth, we had to have industries spread across the country. But now, if we have to export all this, whatever we manufacture, we have to create very good connectivity with our ports. We have to have very good railway network which connects ports. And therefore, if you see the 3 connectivity economic corridors which the finance minister announced in this budget, absolutely path breaking. I can say in the last 5 years, one of the most important aspects. 15 years back, we had quadrilateral project for the highways, national highways, and that really gave a boost to the entire road sector. And this 3 economic corridors which the finance minister announced, I am sure in the times to come, in the next 4 years, 5 years, will have a huge impact on our export of manufacturing goods. It will lead to containerization, and we are building new ports. Already we are one of the best road network in the world now. Actually, we have surpassed China. That is what is well known. This year, very proudly, we can say that we probably have the best highways, expressways in the world now, a huge network. Now is the time to shift to railway networks, and that is what we also heard Honorable Railway Minister saying, that 40,000 kilometers of track would be built. So this is all to give a boost to our industry, to make it competitive. If it becomes competitive, we will be able to export to other countries, and that will create employment. So at the end of the day, at the back of everything, is the whole concept of creating, having more manufacturing, and therefore creating more jobs, diverting people from low-end agriculture to manufacturing.
You have been in the shipping ministry earlier. We have not seen this type of focus on inland waterways, ports connectivity, multimodal connectivity and Gati Shakti. So they have been focusing on these all areas. So do you see that these are really yielding results?
Certainly. See, a port somehow, this time there has not been very prominent mention of ports. The reason is our port sector is now migrating into a what we call a landlord port model, which means that a lot of emphasis is on asset monetization, on PPP projects, on private participation. This whole sector is now led by these 3 factors, and therefore not much has come out in the budget. But very clearly it mentions that the existing schemes will continue, the existing policy measures, the existing focus and this year we are going to have 2 very, very important, events that are going to take place. Vijayangam port, in Tamil Nadu, which is a major transshipment port planned, is going to, it's been, the infrastructure there of cranes has been set up. It's going to start operations maybe sometime later this year. And then we also hope that Vadhavan port, which may be one of the largest container ports in the world, the foundation of that port, I'm sure should be laid in the next near future, next 1 or 2 months. So these 2 things in the port sector are huge, takes which will, developments which are taking place.
Okay, thanks a lot to both of you, Yamini ji, Gopal Krishna ji. We will have to take a break, and we will come back again. Thanks a lot for watching Sansad TV.